difficult was it to play with your hand? Did you have a lot of pain tonight?
Yeah, I think first off, it was just awesome to see the guys battle today. It was a great environment out there. It was a lot of fun, and the way the defense just kept on, battling and forcing those turnovers, and then special teams came through, and to see that, all three phases coming together and fighting for one another, I thought that was really cool.
When did you know for sure? When did you know for sure you were playing tonight?
Probably Sunday of last week. I
So when you
figured.
told us you were going to play even before surgery, you were like,
Yeah, I tried to be as upfront about it as possible. They were really hopeful that it was a procedure that you're going to get done and you're going to be good to go by Monday. And so the first couple of days were kind of tough figuring out getting the swelling down and being able to grip and do things like that. But no, it was I thought the trainers, doctors, they all worked really well together.
Was it a lot of pain to play tonight?
Yeah, it was a broken hand, so.
Like how did you navigate that? Like you were stiff. It seemed like you were stiff arming people. Like Jim said, it felt like a fake movie, like the stuff you were doing.
Yeah, at that point it was probably just instinctual, and obviously, I'd love a couple plays back, dropped a couple on the ground, and I did everything I could to hold onto the ball, and I just got to be smarter with it, and use two hands and be able to grip it as best as I can.
Where did that come from? It seems like all your teammates, Khalil, a bunch of people were talking about how impressive it is that you played like a week after surgery on your hand, and the amount you ran. Like, where does that come from? Your ability throughout your career to play through injuries, whether it's your ankle, your broken hand, ribs.
Honestly, I just think about the guys in that locker room, and they do it for us, and there've been multiple guys. I think Troy Dye and Elijah Molden both broke their hands, and I think they were playing the next week too. And they probably don't get enough credit for that. And just because I'm the quarterback, I get the the talk about that. But those guys, they battle. There's so many guys in that locker room that are fighting through so many different injuries and things worse than what I'm going through. So it's the least that I can do to show up and give my best effort for them.
they both missed a game. They broke them in Miami and missed Indy. Returned for Thursday night.
Oh, well, yeah, I didn't need to know that, but
Justin, without the benefit of your left arm, does that mean you go down harder on some days where you typically break in your fall?
I think potentially. I think for the most part, I try to do a good job of bracing for the falls, and I got a couple slides in there, so I was able to avoid a couple hits. But I just try to play as fast as I can and try not to think about it as much as I could out there.
Are you feeling out the game like as it gets towards the end there and into crunch time, those last two drives, end of regulation, overtime, that like, hey, based on how this is going offensively, I'm going to have to use my legs? Or are you reacting like on a play-to-play basis?
Yeah, I think it's more so of play to play, and I definitely, we're gonna watch the film, and there's gonna be a bunch of throws that I missed today, and plays that I'd love to have back. But if the pocket breaks down and there's a chance to go get the first down running the ball, it's tough on the defense because they do a really good job of covering everyone, and then quarterback breaks out and has to make something happen. So, I think a lot to learn from, and definitely plays I'd love to have back. But I thought it was good for us to just be able to go fight and get us in a position where Cam Dicker can bail us out.
Justin, a lot of times we put labels on quarterbacks. You are developing quite the label of honestly being one of the toughest, if not the toughest quarterback because of what you've endured this year and what you put on. Mentally, does that ring anything? Like, do you notice that, or does it just go by you? Or you just cerebral enough to just kind of show up every day and just do what you do? Or do you kind of hear the rest of the world, looking at you and your toughness and what you put out on the field week after week for this team?
I think we just, want to make Coach Harbaugh proud. I think the way he coaches us and the way he leads us, and the respect that I have for our teammates, our locker room, the coaching staff, and I owe it to them to go out there and give my best effort. And I've dealt with worse things, worse injuries, and it's part of the game. At week 14 or 15, I don't know exactly what it is, but a lot of guys are hurting, and it's part of the NFL. And it's about going out there competing and doing your best on and off the field to get yourself ready to go on Sunday or Monday.
Justin, just like you say, you've drawn inspiration from your teammates coming back from injuries. A lot of your teammates were saying they were drawing inspiration from you. Can you feel the energy that they're kind of feeding off of you when you guys are in a game like that where you're kind of fighting tooth and nail for the win?
Yeah, I think it's really cool for us to play for each other. It's a great locker room. The amount of respect and love that we have for each other. we go play for each other, and it makes it so much better for us as a team. When you enjoy playing with the guys that you're with. And a lot of guys are going through a lot of things, and so, like you said, I draw a lot of inspiration from those guys, and, hopefully, I can have an impact on them, and I think when we're able to do that, we're playing our best football.
How were you able to navigate it under center when taking the direct snap?
Yeah, just, like any other week of going out there and getting the job done, and, we took a couple snaps yesterday and today and felt like it was good to go, so it was part of the game plan.
Justin Herbert made his return after being out for a week. How would you evaluate his performance and his importance to the team?
He's very tough. We're so glad to have him back, and he made a bunch of big plays for us. And it's just good to see him back out there on the field. The energy and the juice he brings to our offense. You can never have enough weapons like him.
Talk to Jim about the importance of this game and the stats. Okay, is this a perfect example of? For the rest of your career, you could say the stats don't mean a damn thing as long as you get the W, because you get sacked 7 times, a pick, a lost fumble, and what does it mean in the end, right?
Yeah, it's all about winning, and that's our job number one. And for us to go out there and obviously there are a lot of things that I'd love to clean up. A couple plays that I'd love to have back, and that's why we watch the film, and we're going to watch it tomorrow and be critical of ourselves. And it was just really cool the way we saw the defense battle, the special teams. It's a tough game. They're a really good opponent, and for us to be able to walk away with a win there, we're all really happy with it.
The ultimate, whatever it takes, kind of a win.
Yeah, it's going out there and competing and doing your best, and by any means, and making sure that we're walking away with a win. And I think all 3 phases did their best today.
Justin, the word grit has been used a lot after wins and losses this year. Is this the toughest team you've ever been on?
I'd like to think so. I think it's definitely one of the tougher. I've seen a lot of guys battle through a lot of injuries, and the way they're fighting for each other and fighting for the team, I've got a lot of respect for them.
Did you have a good view of Tony's interception and what kind of went through your mind when you realized the game was over?
Yeah, I couldn't really see it, but just the way everyone was reacting and responding, I assumed it was good for us. And those guys they're around the ball. They make so many good plays, and I've seen it firsthand going against them this off season, and there's not enough that can be said about Coach Minter and that defense and the way they battle and fight and just keep playing. And I'm so proud to be able to play for them.
Have you ever seen 3 turnovers on one play?
I can't say that I have. I think I've seen 2, but 3 might be a new for me.
Jim compared the win to the birth of his children and marriage. Like, where does this win rank for you?
Yeah, that's I think he just loves football, and you can definitely tell when he gets up here and talks about it, and he wants nothing more than to win and to compete, and that's why the guys love him, and they love playing for him, and how passionate he is about this team, and everything that goes along with it. It's definitely fun to play for him.
Where does this rare win rank?
Football more than Jim Harbaugh?
I'm not sure I have. I think as soon as I met him, I knew that he was. He's a special coach, and I was going to have a lot of fun playing for him, and it's every week. It's just fun to play for him and see how much he cares about this team.
What kind of maintenance did you have to do during the game, Justin, on your hand to just manage whatever pain or functionality during the game?
Not much. I felt like I braced it up well, did everything I could, covered it to the point where I felt like I was safe going out there.